Yes, you guys, welcome back to another News Daily video, powered today by Snickers Protein. Now, throughout this entire January transfer window period, I'm going to be teaming up with Snickers Protein to bring you guys the Snickers Protein fan line. This gives you guys the opportunity to send in your questions, let off some steam, and of course, have your transfer-related questions answered by me. Right now, you guys, I'm about to answer 3 questions sent my way, starting with the first one by CFC Noah. He wants to know the probability of whether we could sign Donnarumma on a free. Now, right now, I'm not really hearing too much news in regards to us showing interest in the goalkeeper. However, in the market, when players of his standard and ability become available, then of course, there are questions to answer. But to be honest, I don't see us signing a goalkeeper until we get rid of Kepa, which might not happen for a long time. So thank you for that question. Moving on to the second one now. Thank you, Mr. Miller, for the tweet, and he wants to know, with the news coming out suggesting that Varane is currently unhappy at Real Madrid, is he not the best signing to make in the next window? And to be honest, this is a great question because Varane does fit the criteria the club are currently looking at. Of course, he's got the height, great aerially, he's pretty decent playing out from the back as well, and he has the experience too, playing international football, European football and domestic football for Real Madrid. He's at a pretty reasonable age as well, and to be honest, I would not be surprised if we start to see reports coming out about interest from us or other Premier League clubs. So yeah, nice question, man. And to answer the final one sent in by Nikolai Johansson, considering we aren't going to sign a CDM, wouldn't Christensen be the best choice? Now, this is a pretty interesting question. Of course, Christensen has played as a DM at times for Denmark. However, with the style of football Denmark international team plays, is it really the type of DM role that we need from Christensen? I'm not too sure, and to be honest, I look at Christensen and it's not like he's constantly playing the passes between the lines. It's not like he's constantly, playing as a centre-back, playing those deep, long balls, those through balls out from the back. So I'm thinking, how would that translate into midfield, where he does have to demonstrate that ability consistently, a lot more than playing as a centre-back? Me personally, I don't know whether he would be the option, but it would be interesting to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Like I said, thank you to everyone that got involved, and if you want your transfer-related question answered by me, all you have to do is @ me on Twitter at NiniFC, followed by the hashtag fanline, followed by your question. Every single News Daily video, I'm going to pick 3 questions to answer. And before I go, you guys, a massive reminder, on the 1st of February, there is going to be a transfer deadline day live stream powered by Snickers Protein. It's going to involve me, Robbie from AFTV, and many big fan content creators. So you'll find that on Ball Street's YouTube channel. Why not, you guys? Why not have a Snickers too? Like, these are pretty delicious, I'm not gonna lie. Shout out Snickers for sending me a few. So finally. But anyway, you guys, we are gonna talk about 3 stories for today. I'm gonna be reacting to the 4th kit leaks that came out today. I'm gonna be speaking about Ousmane Dembele links. Now, a big story coming out from Spain in regards to the future of Dembele. And when players of his nature are available, clubs like us are going to be interested. And for the final story, I'll be speaking about Emerson and his blocks move, on top of some other potential news surrounding a left back that could be leaving. So I hope you guys do enjoy. Smash that like button. And now we start things with the first story. Let's get this one out the way first. And with the reports coming out showing the new 4th kit leaks for this season, of course, I have to react to it, you guys. As always, brought to you guys by Footy Headlines. They're always getting the news and the sources and the leaks immediately. Shout out to those guys. As we're seeing right here, we're seeing the first pictures of our new 2021 Air Max inspired 4th kit. Now, me personally, I still don't see the correlation between these 180 Air Maxes and our football club, other than some drip and some sauce, to be honest. So, it's typical right now with all the big European clubs. They're releasing 4th kits. It makes a lot of sense business-wise, and let's be serious, I'm sure quite a few of us have been copying them. So let's scroll down to see how this bad boy is looking like, and I have to say it's not too bad. This ain't too bad. Like, I can imagine wearing this with like some blue jeans and you know what I mean, like my Air Forces too. Yeah, it's not too bad. But of course, immediately, where is the sponsor logo? Where's the 3 logo? There's no way, straight off the bat, there's no way the team is playing in this kit without the 3 logo on, unless some madness has been happening. So I get the impression this could be purely about just the source, to be honest. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting design. I like the colorway too. I mean, yeah, I'm going to be buying it. You guys know me. I'm going to be buying it. And it's inspired by these shoes, which, you know what I mean? The 180s, yeah, it's not too bad. It's not my personal taste, but I'm sure some of you guys will be rocking that quite nice. So let's scroll down, and yeah, it's not too bad. It really isn't too bad. I like the V-neck, and to be honest, with our kits on the Nike, every time I give my initial impression, I'm not falling in love with the kits immediately, but it does grow over time. Like our new home kit, I was thinking at first it's a bit uninspired, a bit boring, but seeing it live, it's one of the best kits I've seen for a while. And even the pink kit that was really controversial, the Crystal Palace one, when you have it in person, again, it's not too bad. So most definitely, I'll be copying that, you guys. In the comments below, give your thoughts and opinions on this kit. Will you get it? And if you do, I'm your source, I'm your plug, you guys. If you use my discount code, I'm going to hook you up nicely. So without wasting any more time, we move on to the massive story today in regards to Ousmane Dembele and links to our club. Now, these reports have come out from Spain, from Sport, and it's a very interesting dilemma happening between Ousmane Dembele and Barcelona. At this point in time, Dembele's contract does expire in 2022. That's not far away, you guys, and at this point in time, Barcelona would like the player to commit to them. However, it seems like Dembele and his team, they're not looking to just sign a new deal immediately. It seems like they're looking to explore some of their options as well. Now with Barcelona, there's no way they're going to allow a player like Dembele to, wind his contract down and leave on a free. They spent a ton of money on a player that has been quite injury prone. However, this season under Koeman, he's won his place back. He's definitely been a big presence in their attack as well. And, quite naturally, his gamble to stay at Barcelona did pay off because, of course, he's finally showing that physical consistency that we've all been hoping to see from the player for a very long time. But regardless, you guys, considering the investment that Barca made to sign him in the first place, they cannot allow this guy to leave on a free. So if Dembele does not commit to a new contract, Barca will be selling him in the summer window. And the rumour fee circulating around is that he could be available for 55 million, which is, for a player like Dembele, considering that Barca pay nearly double that amount, it's not too bad. Now, naturally, tons of EPL teams are after him, and of course there is interest from Bayern Munich and from Juventus as well. However, reports are stating that us, Chelsea Football Club, we are looking at Dembele's situation, and if he is around for a decent price, this rumoured 55 million, we could be down to making a move for the player in the following window. Now, of course, I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on the story, and with a player like Dembele, his ability to just use his left foot, his right foot, that ambidextrous stuff. I don't know what's happening with my words today, you guys, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. The guy is a phenomenon, in my opinion. His ability to beat his man as well. There are capabilities that we could do with more in our attack too. And my thing is, if we were to entertain a move for Dembele, it would clearly imply that we'd have to sell one of our attacking players. But there's also pros and cons to this. Yes, he's a great football player. Yes, he would definitely add something to the team. But at the same time, if you're spending that amount of money on a player, considering that we already have some injury prone, great young players in attack ourselves, does that really make too much sense? Let's say potentially, for example, you were considering selling a Pulisic. If you had to sell Pulisic, are you selling him to then sign Dembele? A guy that has even worse injury concerns than Puli? Most probably not. So a part of me feels like this is naturally Dembele, his reps, his agents. They're trying to garner as much interest to be able to get the best possible contract at Barcelona. However, considering that Barca have great talents like Ansu Fati, currently out injured at this point in time, considering that, of course, they're always going to attract the best players, and, Dembele's time hasn't been super rosy. This could also be an opportunity for them to consider their options right now, because Dembele could be available for a very decent fee, allowing the player to really kick on his career even more. So I see it going both ways. Of course, players of this talent, of this magnitude, our club's always going to be looking at them, and I guess you guys in the comment section, I've given my thoughts and opinions, but how would you feel about potentially seeing Ousmane Dembele next season? Is he the guy you want to see? Who would you sacrifice to sign him? And now, We end things with the final story for today. I'll be speaking about Emerson's blocks move as well as some interesting news surrounding a potential departure of the club, you guys. But to kick things off, reports came out over the past few hours suggesting that West Ham have had their loan attempt for Emerson blocked by this club, which makes a bit of sense. Now with West Ham right now, Masuaku is out injured. He might be back sometime in Feb or March, and right now they only have Cresswell, so it does make sense why they'd be considering signing an option that has Premier League experience that they could sign on a relatively short-term deal as well. And of course, you'd imagine Emerson could be interested at getting consistent game time to boost his Euros hopes for this summer. However, the club turned down and rejected that loan move, and for very good reason. Actually, reading the article was pretty funny because they suggested that Alonso was ahead of him, which is not the case whatsoever. With Marcus Alonso, who knows where he is right now? When's the last time anyone's seen him? And now, I'm going to talk about some news that I'm potentially hearing now. With Emerson, it's clear that he's currently the second choice left back. He makes sense. He complements the system a lot more than a Marcus Alonso, who is more of a wing back and just doesn't have the legs to go from box to box. From what I'm hearing personally, it seems like he could be potentially departing before the window ends. There is interest coming out again from Serie A clubs. I don't know who exactly, I wasn't given that information. However, it seems like he could be making his move before this window closes, which makes a ton of sense. I mean, Alonso he's on 6 figures a week. Right now, he's collecting his wages. He's not anywhere near close to the first team, and we made a massive mistake, in my opinion, not selling one of these guys before we sign Ben. I mean, of course, most likely it is going to be a loan, because every single time you allow players to leave, it's always a loan. And that's because right now we have been clocked by, interested parties for our players. As we see every single window, loan departures don't get agreed or finalized until the very, very end, where we are forced to have to let them leave for the sake of finding some bit of balance in the squad. So considering we're starting the season with 3 left backs, for me it's a bit of an L on the boards. They've been making the same mistake time and time again, offloading players. And this is why when it comes to signing players, you have to be very careful. There has to be some foresight behind the signings, because most times, as we're seeing with Kepa, with Rudiger's, with many other players, they become impossible to sell off. They become impossible to get the money back that you invested in the first place, and in the end, it could affect what you do in the windows in future seasons. So you guys, that was the news for today. I hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow, I'm going to be releasing the match review. Let's hope we get a big win against Luton Town. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.